Most coaches waste dozens of hours every single week talking to leads on the phone or Zoom just to get ghosted. They book their calendars full of sales calls and eliminate the freedom that the online business that they started was supposed to give them. Sales calls give your prospects control over your business and your life, and they keep you stuck in trading time for money. So in this video here, I'm going to walk you through how I eliminated sales calls, and I've been signing coaching clients in the DMs, making 20 to 30K per month since 2022. And show you how you can do the same and take back control over your business and have real, true freedom. Now to start, I want to give you some context and explain why I decided to give up sales calls and stop doing them back in 2022. So to give you some context, I started my previous business, which was in the fitness coaching industry, in January of 2018. And like everyone else at the time, I was taught that the only way to sell high-ticket coaching was over the phone with sales calls. Nobody ever talked about selling in the DMs, and every mentor that I ever worked with and hired also taught sales calls too. So I didn't know any better. I didn't know that I had a choice. So what did I do? I obsessed over getting stupid good at sales calls. I didn't just learn from fitness business mentors. I bought courses and coaching from sales trainers who all they did was sales. I did hundreds and hundreds of hours of role play practice, of like mock sales calls with coaches and mentors. And from 2018 until 2022, I took 387 actual sales calls myself. And of all those calls, by the end of that period, my average closing rate was 78.8%. I became a fucking savage at sales calls. I got to the point of being so good at sales calls that one of the business mentors, a fitness mentor, that I had originally paid them to help me grow my business, ended up hiring me to teach sales calls to all of his clients because of the results I was getting myself. And I don't say any of that to brag, but to help you understand that even at the skill level I got to with sales calls, I didn't want to do them anymore. I despised them. I hated getting on sales calls every single week. I hated all the bullshit that came along with sales calls, like the prospects who ghost you after you spend an hour on the call trying to convince them to buy. The endless objection handling that just makes you feel icky and sleazy at the end of the call, and prospects telling you that you're being too pushy. Or listening to those chatty Cathys who just tell you their entire life story without letting you get a word in. Or canceling your plans for a sales call just to have the other person ghost you and no-show. Or chatting for 30, 45 minutes with an unqualified lead to completely waste your time and getting hung up on after you drop the price. I'm sure you've experienced all these things too, and you know the frustrations. So I knew after years of doing this that there had to be a better way out there. So in 2022, I set out to figure out a solution to my problem so that I could continue to grow and scale my business without sacrificing my freedom and without ever doing a sales call again. At the time, when I made this decision, it seemed like an impossible challenge, and everyone thought I was crazy for doing this or even considering it. But I knew that if I kept doing what everyone else was doing, I was going to get the same results as everyone else was doing and getting themselves. And practically everybody that I knew in the coaching industry at the time, besides the people that were teaching it and preaching sales calls, they hated sales calls too. And I knew if I continued to sacrifice my freedom like they were doing, I was just going to grow to hate my business even more. And I didn't want to accept that. So here's how I made the transition from doing so many sales calls to selling in the DMs and never getting on the phone again. It was around the summer of 2022 when I started playing around with this idea here. I knew that my sales call script that I've been using for years was very dialed in. It was closing almost 80% or higher in a lot of cases. And there wasn't anything that I knew that I needed to do to improve that script itself, my sales call script. I knew that it converted very well. So instead of starting from scratch with this new system I was building here, what I did is I took the beginning stage of the call, the discovery phase of the call, and that became my new DM script. So I knew that throughout that sales call script in the discovery phase, I could get people into the buying pocket, get them ready to be sold, right? More or less. So I took that and I turned that into a DM script, and I took all basically the checkpoints that would bring people through on a sales call, and I turned them into checkpoints to go through in a DM script. And I knew that if I got people in the DMs through most of these checkpoints or all of these checkpoints here, they would be ready to be sold in the DMs, more or less. So what I did next is I took the pitch section out of my sales call script and I put that into a Google Doc. So my plan was just to send this Google Doc to leads in the DMs after they'd gone through the DM script, have them read this document, basically a sales page in a Google Doc, and then they can simply let me know if they were in or not. So I took that Google Doc, added a little wizardry and some copywriting magic to it, some good old-fashioned trial and error as well. And I took that 6-minute pitch out of my sales call script and I turned it into a 4-page sales page, more or less. It's literally just 4 pages of text, no images, no graphics, no social proof. I think I have it printed out somewhere here. I'll show you. this is literally it. This is my winning Google Sales Dog. This is my highest converting offer ever. This sold over $300,000 of fitness coaching. Literally just text. No images, no pictures, no testimonials, no social proof. Literally just a Google Doc. I printed this out, obviously, but when I would send it to people, it was a Google Doc on the computer. Just a file they would open, whether I sent it over Instagram or email, whatever it might be. They would read through the document and let me know if they were in or not. Simple as that. So I started sending this Google Doc out in messages, and I think it was probably the third or fourth person I sent it to. I got my first ever I'm in message. And that first I'm in message was one of my favorite moments ever in my now 7+ year journey in building online businesses. And the reason why I love that moment so much is because it showed me that there are no rules. For the 5 years before I got that first I'm in message in the DMs without ever getting on a sales call, I believed that the only way to sell high-ticket coaching was through getting on a sales call, for doing a Zoom call, whatever it might be. But when I got that I'm in message, it broke my reality. It showed me that I can do things the way that I want. I can build my business my way without doing whatever the gurus preach and teach. And it was one of the first of many changes that I made in my business at the time that a lot of people had said was there was the only way to run a business. There's only one way to build an online high-ticket fitness business, right? So after that change, over the next few months, I kind of tweaked and played with this DM script and my Google Sales Doc, trial and error until I had it really dialed in. And by December of 2022, I was really happy with how it was converting. It was converting a little over 50% of the leads in the DMs. Now, that is lower, 30%, almost 30% lower than what I was converting with on sales calls, but that was a trade-off I was willing to take at the time because I knew it was going to save me 15 to 20 hours per week without having to get on a phone call or on Zoom every single week. And the really cool thing is that even though my conversion percentage, my closing percentage went down about 30%, I actually started getting much better quality clients. The clients that I brought in after I stopped doing sales calls, they would stay longer, they would renew more, they would refer more friends and family, they would upsell into my higher ticket programs, my VIP programs, they would ask for fewer refunds, just overall much better quality clients. And the reason why, which I only kind of figured out and realized in hindsight, is that I think I was too good at sales calls. When I put so much effort into getting good at sales calls, I could get practically anybody to buy, even if they didn't actually want to or they weren't ready to buy. You see, when you get really good at sales calls, what you're actually getting good at is, I hate to say this, but it's emotional manipulation, more or less. You get people to buy for emotional reasons, even if they're not ready to buy, even if they're not ready to sign up, if they don't actually have the money to pay for it. But you get really good at getting them to buy for emotional reasons. And what that led to was, yes, more sales, more clients, but bad fit clients that didn't stay long. They asked for refunds. They did chargebacks on their credit cards. They dropped out right away. They wouldn't stay long. They never referred anybody. They didn't want to be in my coaching program. So when I stopped doing sales calls this way, when I stopped doing emotional manipulation on sales calls, I started selling in the DMs with a Google Sales Doc. It let people decide to join my coaching program on their own terms, on their own time, and for logical reasons. And that is how you get good clients. You get clients who join you for logical reasons, not for emotional reasons. You don't want people joining you for emotional reasons because they just lead to more problems down the road. You want people that want to be there and are ready to be there and are ready to take action. So that is why I sell in the DMs, and I stuck with it for so long. And it's why I wholeheartedly preach and teach everybody to sell in the DMs as well, because you just get better clients. And makes it it doesn't only give you back your freedom and open up your calendar and your schedule, it allows you to build a better business because you have better quality clients. You enjoy working in your business. You enjoy having conversations with your clients. Your clients stay longer. They refer more people. They help you grow your business in a way that is very difficult when you're very good at sales calls, when you just push everybody into the business. So it's more of a pull with the DM sales rather than a push with sales calls. So that's why I love it. That's why I preach it so much. And that is how I took my sales call process and turned it into a DM sales process without really many changes at all. I took my sales call script, split it in 2 pieces, ended up with a DM script and a Google Docs sales page. That's literally it. And it basically ended up being nothing but benefits for my business and the growth for my business since I stopped doing sales calls. And so I think it was December 12th of 2022. That was the last sales call that I ever did. And I made a commitment to myself and set a new standard for my business going forward, that no matter what it might be worth to me or how much money somebody might be offering me, I was never going to get on a sales call again. And then in the 15 months after that, about 15 months, so I stopped in December 2022. I shut my business down, my fitness business, in March of 2024. So about 15 months or so there, I made well over $300,000 with this simple Google Sales Doc in the DMs. No more sales calls, literally just selling in the DMs. And if I can do it, I know that you can do it as well for yourself too. And I've proven this over and over again, not just for myself. There's been literally hundreds of people have bought this DMs sale by chat system from me. I've taught it to dozens and dozens of clients that I've worked with personally, and it just works over and over again. Over and over again, it helps people free up their calendar, helps them increase, in most cases, increase their conversion rates, because most people aren't at the level of sales calls that I was at. So most people are on average closing 20 to 30% in their sales calls. So by using this DM sales process, this proven template that I have with my Google Sales Doc here, with the DM script that I have, it in most cases increases people's conversion rates, help them sign more clients than they were before doing sales calls, while also freeing up their calendar. So in my opinion, nothing but benefits. Plus, like I said, you get better quality clients, which makes it much easier to grow and scale your business going forward. So that's what I did. You can do that as well. You can take your sales call script, you can split it into two pieces and create your own sell by chat system. But chances are your sales call script probably isn't as dialed in or as tested as mine was after 5 years of working and testing and working with mentors and coaches and dialing that in. And you probably don't want to go through the months and months of trial and error that I used as well to dial in my sell by chat system. So I want to make it really easy for you. I want to give you my word for word template here so that you can create your own Google Docs sales page of your own, and you can create your own sell by chat system without having to do another sales call ever again. I'm even going to give you a couple more really in-depth masterclasses to show you how to take your existing offer and put it into a Google Doc, into my template. Basically, you can copy and paste my template, insert your details, make it work for your niche as well. So I'm going to give you everything that you need to make it very easy for you to sign clients with little to no effort on your part. If you want it, I will drop a link somewhere in the description below here. You can grab my Google Docs sales page template and all the masterclasses that come along with it. And also, I'll mention, if you would like to kind of see a more in-depth training on how the sell by chat system fits into my entire overall Category King system, so you can see how the sell by chat system kind of fits in the big picture and see the other systems that go along with it to make it work, click the video somewhere around here. I will link another video that you can watch because it goes in depth into how everything works together and show you how I've scaled two businesses now, two coaching businesses, to over 20K per month, and how I've helped dozens of other coaches add 5 to 10, 15K per month to their businesses as well. So check that out whenever you get a chance. That's it for this video. Hope this was helpful and insightful for you, and hopefully helps you eliminate sales calls and get off the phone forever and free up your calendar and just build a better business. Hope this was helpful. See you later.